Hello everyone, here is WGM Nina Radze. If you remember in my last video about Spassky, I talked about one of his games from 1970 against Bent Larsen. I said that probably while watching at my game in Dubai against James Farley, that probably Spassky somewhat reminded about his own game against Larsen. So look at the position. That's the game I was talking about. Of course, it's not exactly similar, but there is this also pieces hanging there that he should not move back. And also after taking, let me show you in chess base, like after taking here, oops, sorry, after taking here and taking here, it's also he has a pawn on g3 like I had in my game actually. And in some lines king can also come here, which was also a case of James Farley. His king was here because he also could not castle and Larsen can't castle in this game. And that was the game I was talking about. Let's go quickly through this game if you want. So Larsen plays b3. Some people call this Larsen opening, right? So that was a hobby of Ben Larsen to play some b3 f4 structures or f4 b3, which was also played by Fishers in some rare occasions. e5. e5 is one of the best way to counter this fianchetto bishop from the beginning. Just limit the bishop from the beginning with a structure, pawn structure. Knight c6, c4, knight f6, knight f3, bit daring move because it lets e4. But okay, he comes to the center. Spassky puts the pressure on the knight. Knight takes c6. And here comes d takes c. Most logical, just talking about pawn structures, it would be more healthy way for the pawns to capture from always from external side towards the center, not the contrary. And pawns would be here probably happy, like this pawn is promoted towards the center, but pieces would not be happy, right? Neither bishop, neither queen, which did not open up, neither in the future the rook, which is gonna come here one day, and won't have this open semi-file on D line. So that's why it's important. If you're a dynamic player, don't spend your whole attention just on pawn structure, but prioritize your pieces as well and to put them out quickly on good squares. After e3, he played bishop f5, queen c2, queen e7, and now suddenly we see that he's not about to short castle here, but he goes with a long castle, pretty aggressive line. And I think here, so Larsen makes imprecision instead of like a castling, just comes f4. But I think that he thought that he can castle here. But unfortunately, he cannot. And he can never ever castle in this game anymore. Because we would have taken then the beautiful sacrifice, knight takes, we take, attack the queen, there is a discovery on the king, as you see. And of course, you cannot take with a queen because of bishop e3. So after knight g4, there's this ideas, right, of sacrificing, and also it's too late to take this knight because there's this intermediate check, provoking a huge weakness, and then taking, and now nobody wants to castle here because it will just absolutely destroy the king, right? Checkmate is coming. And of course, if white lose the castle, then it will be like my game against Farley. Probably we just grab this piece, and it's still pretty terrible position without castle. So g3 was played because Bent Larsen tries to retain this queen h4 ideas on this weekend diagonal, because we saw, right, in some lines this queen h4 is disturbing. Actually, Mikhail Tal, in his book about attack, where he explains the art of attack, which is actually a great book, he describes that once your king got stuck into the center, or not really stuck, but you did not castle, danger will be always from either from right diagonal or left diagonal, or it can be also from open file or semi-open file. Okay, in this situation, we see that we don't have this file here, so king is safe kind of from this. But if king was here, for instance, right, like, then instantly we see the effect of open semi-file by pinning the pawn and winning the queen. So it's very useful to have rook in front of the king, right? And so white are safe here, as I said, from this side. White are also kind of safe from this side. They're really, really safe from that side. So always look at these patterns that Tal described as possible ways of attacking king in the center. So here, after g3, now we understand g3 idea, just to secure the king from all the sides. But it just gives another idea to Spassky, which is now preparing h4, and now he can force to open up this h file, and there is no much to be done how to stop this. Actually, Bent probably believed that it's h3 solving his problems, because knight is hanging, and probably he thinks that Spassky is gonna come back. But here is a problem: Spassky never comes back with his knight. Spassky is extremely aggressive, dynamic player, and it's not his first time sacrificing a knight at all. By the way, please note this similarity between Mikhail Tal, another world champion, and Spassky, where both are initiative player, aggressive players, and they both enjoy sacrificing knights. But still, I think their style is really different. Actually, they don't sacrifice in similar conditions. And maybe one day I will make a lesson for you to explain the differences between them. So here, after h4, yeah, suddenly this very strong move comes, and that's what I was saying. Please check out my previous video about how I met Spassky, and there I described that he stayed hours to watch similar-ish position of mine, which occurred against Grandmaster Safarli in Dubai. So yeah, I'm still thinking that probably it's reminded him something like this game. And so knight is hanging in various ways, but who cares, right? That's all the beauty of Spassky chess. So the game was pawn captures. He captured here, and this h file opened up pretty quickly. King is really insecure, and these pieces are really like too slow to bring them up. Like somehow Larsen didn't find in this game time to bring them up. Rook is hanging, so he has to go, because taking would be extremely dangerous, as you see, because now rook will come and queen will come, right? So rook goes, and this brilliant, brilliant move. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. I remember my reaction when I first time saw this move a long time ago, some years ago, but I was like absolutely fascinated by this move, as I was as well by h4 before. And so now queen is gonna come if you don't react properly, if king f1, for instance, but they capture. g2 was a game, and rook cannot go elsewhere because there's a g1 promotion, right? So rook has to come here, right? No, I mean, rook has to come here, but then there's this check. This goes, and this absolutely brilliant move, which checkmates literally, because if we capture and checkmate. So the game was some desperate attempt, rook f1 instead of rook g1, hoping that if black captures, white are still piece up and may survive, but here comes this check. And of course we cannot play anything like this, so has to go. And now take, and here just take bishop g4 check. If you go, that checkmate comes. And if bishop e2, this checkmate. So that's how just Spassky destroyed Larsen that day in just 17 moves with black, because Spassky is such an aggressive, dangerous player, and not to castle against Spassky is extremely risky, right? There is a subline in this game possible in case he was capturing not with a pawn as in the game, but just first with a bishop. But in this case, similar stuff happens, very similar pattern. By the way, please note that in my game, I also had black pawn on g3 against Safarli. And so on the rig g1 here, the same stuff happens, really similar. It doesn't change much if bishops are still on the board or not. Take g2, still this has to be played, check comes. Okay, the only difference is that king can come to e2 because before the square was occupied by a white bishop. But just we take, and here comes, try to find how to checkmate here. You can pause the video and try it. That's really beautiful, I think. We already talked about potential weakness of open diagonal on the king in the center, like Tal described in his book. And here comes actually, yeah, that, but I thought that we can even probably play this, right? Directly, actually. And that, right? This is also probably just winning, right? Let me check this because somehow I have other subline. This is not winning. Oh my God. Oh, I did not know there's d4 escape. Wow, this is amazing. I'm just discovering with you something, you know. On this, of course, now king escaped. Oh my God. And if we take, there is this take. Oh, okay. So, because there is a similar line where this works actually, right? So, okay, here we have to check first, apparently. King e2, and yeah, and now it works. Now this works, right? So the difference is that there is no such a escape apparently anymore on d4. This time we take, and if queen takes, we have d2 check. How crazy is this, right? Take, like, check, and yeah, we managed to block d2 square in this line somehow. Let's compare the difference one more time because it's not so clear actually, right? Here, so if we go d4, why we cannot do the same? Take, and what if I go, yeah, okay, the difference is obvious. If I do the same stuff now, white has this square to escape, right? Yeah, so queen has to be here and then it works, but not otherwise, right? I even didn't notice this detail first. Okay, so here we cannot directly start with bishop e7. Actually, we have to first check, like make like a zigzag. If king tries to escape, it doesn't work because this time we truly go there and it's really lost position, like take this. That is attacked in case knight moves, and if knight doesn't move, we just promote, right? It's totally lost. So yeah, this game, as we see after this move, white would be anyway lost. That's a subline, but okay, as we saw, game was directly like pawn takes, and he just lost after this brilliant sacrifice. What to say? Hope you enjoyed this game. I just wanted to show you that game because I talked about this game in my last video, but I'll be anyway analyzing some great games or my favorite games of some world champions or great test players. And probably there will be more Spassky games because Spassky has so many amazing games. That's just one of them. Okay, hope to see you next time on the channel. Please subscribe, push the like to help the channel to develop, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.